What? Oh no! I'm sorry, Hardee's and Hedo. I can't even say it right. I'm laughing so hard.
Welcome to the
Hardee's
MLB.
and yeah, Hardee's and Hardos. I'm sorry for your eardrums there to start this episode, but Spinny's feeling goofy, I guess. Oh
I
my
just
god,
bopped every one of our listeners. It's awesome. That was like way more boppage than I normally get.
that might have been the first time you ever did that on this pod. Honestly,
I know, it just came to me.
30+ episodes in, and
It's a Friday
Finally.
night. We're getting a little squirrely. We got some wine in the pod.
we do have some wine in the pod.
And yeah, just felt it.
Well, like Spinny said, this is going to be ML Playoff Special. We will really briefly recap college football from last week. We told y'all we would do that. We changed things up a little bit. Last week I went 4-2 on my picks. Bum ass Gophers, of course, lost a homecoming game. Mo Ibrahim was not there. Just I don't know. It makes no sense to me. And I picked Baylor as well over OK State. They ended up losing. They had 2 interceptions late in the game that sealed the game for OK State. So yeah, I went 4-2 last week. Spinny, how'd you do?
I went 4-2 as well. So the leaderboard is tied up starting in week 1. I also missed the Gophs and Clemson, NC State, which I should have went with my head and picked Clemson. I said Clemson. I was talking Clemson up in the last pod, but
Death Valley, man.
I know.
They don't lose there.
No, they don't. And that was a stupid pick by me. Should be 5-1. But I messed up. We're at 4-2, and we're tied up going into this week.
And the Gophers shouldn't have lost either.
So. Yeah, I should be 6-0, but
yeah,
you're the only one that made a bad pick when you picked Baylor.
Oh, come on now. that was an interesting game. Yeah, they both that was kind of an ugly game. They both honestly didn't even play that well in my eyes. They other than the third quarter, I even wrote this down in my notes. 22-17, the score was in favor of Baylor in the third quarter. So the final was 36-25. 22 and 17 of those points were scored by these teams in the third quarter. So that means total, each team scored like 10 points in the other 3 quarters combined.
Yep.
So basically, the third quarter is the only thing in that game. Yep. Moving on to the preview, we want to give you all our picks for this upcoming week as well. We are only going through 4 matchups here. Tennessee at LSU, 8 versus 25. Tennessee's 3-point spread here, 3-point favorite. I'm rocking with Tennessee. I think LSU, they gave a lot of big plays to Auburn last week. So if they were giving up big plays to Auburn, I don't anticipate them slowing down Hendon Hooker, who's been on an absolute tear for Tennessee. So I'm rocking with Tennessee in this one.
Did I give you my picks, man? Because I thought I had them in my notes here, but I'm just tripping.
You don't, but I just told you the matchup. So
all right. Well, I guess we're just gonna free reign it this time. Okay, here we go. We got the notes coming. So I just never wrote it down. Okay, what's the first game? Give it to me again.
Number 8 Tennessee at number 25 LSU.
Tennessee. Hooker's too good, and the LSU defense is not going to be able to do anything against that. Daniels is that LSU quarterback?
Daniels.
Yep. Yeah. He's a 2 runner and a thrower, dual threat guy. I think he leads them in rushing and in passing. So he could make it a game, but I just think Tennessee's defense is going to do a way better job against him than LSU's.
Yeah, Daniels last week against Auburn only had 80 passing yards. So I don't have much confidence in him being able to keep up with the high-powered Tennessee offense in this one. 560 yards per game compared to 444. Tennessee versus LSU there, offensively at least. So yeah, that'll be an interesting SEC matchup. I'm going 30-24. You got a score or no?
Let's say 35-31.
Okay. Next matchup, we got Big 12 matchup, 2 teams that no one thought would be good, and wow, they're both good. TCU number 17 at Kansas number 19. TCU is a 7-point favorite. I got to rock with TCU. Kansas's team, I question if they can do it against a good team. This will be a quarterback matchup though. Duggan for TCU, 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns, 0 picks, and Daniels for Kansas, 1,000 yards, 11 touchdowns, 1 pick. So these are really some of the best, statistically speaking, offenses in the country.
Hey, it's 997 and 983.
I know. I rounded. Oh my
gosh. just giving him shit. I'd do the same thing. Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's a quarterback battle, but man, it really kills me to say this because I hate this basketball team more than almost any basketball team.
Kansas, yeah, you do.
The Kansas Jayhawks. But I'm gonna do the old rocking, chalking, and we're gonna pick Kansas. We're rocking and chalking this week.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yes.
I mean, TCU. Were you aware of this yardage difference though? TCU was second in the country in yards per game behind Tennessee, 550 yards compared to only 420 for Kansas. You think they're gonna be able to keep
42-38 Kansas.
42-38.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. I really don't think they're going to keep up with TCU. I think TCU will run away with this and win 44-30, win by at least 2 touchdowns. Right. They beat. For those that don't know, they obliterated Oklahoma last week, 55-24. So TCU is hot right now, and I don't know if Kansas
little come down from that big win.
Could be. They do play on the road, so could be. There's a lot of good matchups here. Moving on to a different conference, Pac-12. We got number 11 Utah at number 18 UCLA, who just took down undefeated number 15 Washington this past week in an upset. UCLA is now 5-0. No one anticipated them being good as well. Another game here. This is going to come down to the quarterback play, similar to the TCU Kansas game. Whichever quarterback plays better, they'll probably win the game. Thompson Robinson for UCLA, 1,200 yards, 11 tutties, 1 pick. Rising for Utah, 1,150 yards, 13 touchdowns, only 2 picks. So yeah, these are two great quarterbacks so far. This is a huge game for the Pac-12 South. You got both these 2 teams plus USC in the Pac-12 South. This is huge for standings as both of them are trying to keep pace with undefeated USC. I'm gonna run with Utah. I had more faith in them obviously coming in. This is another team similar to Kansas. I don't know if they can do it against a truly good team because I don't know if Washington wasn't ranked until last week. So, yes, they upset a ranked team, but that team was never ranked until last week. So, I'm going to rock with the more experienced and deeper team in Utah. 37-34. This one will be a close one.
I was gonna go with Mullet Man Cameron Rising. I was really thinking about that, but
you can't since I went with them or what?
I really can. I'm gonna take UCLA 35. No, 35. 42-35 UCLA.
Okay, 3.5 favorite for Utah. By the way, I forgot to mention that to start. Yeah, these are some good matchups here. A lot of in-conference matchups this week. So that's the thing to watch for college football tomorrow when all the games happen. The night game, the primetime game on CBS is A&M. Team Spinny was high on to start the season, who's only 3-2. LOL. They visit Alabama, number 2 ranked team in the nation. You know how that is. Spinny Roll Tide. We love it.
Bama's number 1. What are you talking about?
Bama is number 1 now, yes, but when I wrote these notes, they were still number 2. So, yeah, I get a slight pass there. But
yeah, you do.
Alabama almost 200 more yards per game than Texas A&M offense. I really don't think A&M has any chance to keep up with Alabama. If this was in A&M, drawing a blank on the name of the field. Whatever. It's just I know they talk about the 11th man because their crowd is always nuts.
What? If this was Texas A&M?
Yeah, you've never heard of that?
No.
Or the 12th man, I shouldn't say, not 11th man.
Kyle Field is what it's called.
Yeah, because
College Station.
College Station. They're nuts there. If it was at College Station, I would make this a game, and I would still probably pick Alabama, but close. But I think they're going to run with this 44-27. They killed Arkansas last week. I think Arkansas is more legit team than A&M, so I don't anticipate A&M sticking in it.
more pain for me. You got to pick Bama too. Bama.
You got to take the right pick here.
38-21, Alabama.
38-21, yeah. The thing you'll watch for this one, though, is Bryce Young is actually questionable. Technically deemed a game time decision.
If Bryce Young isn't there, I reserve the right to change my pick, though. Because without Bryce Young, I'm picking A&M.
I feel like I have the right to change my pick as well.
Would you pick, without Bryce Young, would you pick Bama?
You mean A&M? Yeah, I actually might. No cap.
Really?
Because Bryce Young
is this team.
Is that man. He is that guy. Bryce Young is good enough to put a team on his shoulders.
This team is not as good as the other Bama teams without him. It's not. The receivers and the running backs are not as good as the previous 5 years at Alabama.
No, exactly. So I don't know. That is something to watch. I really don't anticipate him missing the game, though, if I'm going to be honest.
That's fair.
Based on the reports of practice and things like that, it seems like he should suit up, but you never know. You do never know. But yeah, I mean, I think Bryce Young, home field advantage. Nick Saban usually doesn't get out coached. That'll just be too much for A&M to overcome. Some stats here.
I don't know, but Jimbo has a bone to pick with Nick. Jimbo has a bone to pick.
But A&M, one of the worst rush defenses in the league, 170 yards given up per game, and Bama's averaging 250 rush yards per game. So that's a place to watch for this game, because if they're able to slow down Bama's rushing attack, which I don't think they're going to be able to, then they have a shot. But
fine.
So yeah, I think those are our 4 games, though. We'll jump to MLB now. Hopefully, I'm going to go 4-0. I know Spinny won't, since he picked frickin' UCLA and Kansas. What a bomb.
Do you think you're going 4-0?
I'm going 4-0, bro. No doubt about it.
On that. That's right.
No doubt.
Hardy's and Ardos. Ha-mala. That's what I think about that.
Whatever, Spinny. All right, jumping to the MLB playoffs now. We're just going to pick winners. We'll talk a little bit about each series, go through each one until we get to the World Series, obviously. And we know we're cheating a little bit, but
we are.
We promise you, Hardies and Hardos, we made our picks before the games today started, and Spinny and I held each other to that. So none of us changed our games or our winners. So
and you will see that by
you're gonna see that with my NL predictions for sure. Let's start with the AL wildcard.
My predictions too.
Okay, good. Let's start with the AL wildcard. Guardians Rays. I'm running with the Guardians 2-1 in this series. For those that don't know, wildcard series are best of 3. Guardians, I think they just have a more complete lineup top to bottom than the Rays. McClanahan's been pitching really well, I should say, this season. But I'm giving the slight edge to Shane Bieber in terms of experience and playoff experience. So I trust Bieber more right now than McClanahan, which is what we saw today. The Guardians won 2-1 and took a 1-0 lead. But yeah, that was my pick for that series, Guardians 2-1.
Yeah, I'm going Guardians 2-1 as well. I think the Guardians pitching staff is going to, for the rest of the series, is going to outdo the Rays pitching staff. McKenzie's been a stud this year. I think there's a big possibility he wins the start and it's even 2-0. But even Quantrill overall this year has been better than either of the Rays' other 2 Game 2 or Game 3 starters. He's a 3.38 ERA, 1.2 WHIP. So not too bad for your third starter. Other note is McKenzie's WHIP is 0.95, which is even lower than Shane Bieber, and he has a 2.96 ERA.
Yeah, so I'm anticipating. I mean, that you could basically count that as a breakout season, but I am anticipating a true breakout season for Tristan McKenzie next year. He was
only 11-11. That's why it's kind of like what's up. But his WAR was 4. Which
is good for pitchers.
Pretty darn good for pitchers.
Yeah. And I mean,
and that's in almost 200 innings. He had 195 innings, so almost 200 innings.
And that's really good. And 11-11 with that ERA, that just gives me DeGrom type vibes, like where you're losing games where you shouldn't be. So I expect that to improve for McKenzie. McKenzie is a legit option. Yep. You have any other thoughts about the series, or let's move on to the next AL one?
Nope. Move it on.
Mariners and Blue Jays. Again, sorry, I should have mentioned this right away. Those that don't know about the playoffs and MLB, the wild card series is at the higher seed, all 3 games. They don't switch fields for the wild card series. So that's interesting. So the Mariners are playing in Toronto. I'm rocking with them 2-1. I have to just stick with the Mariners. They were my sleeper team in the preseason preview. So I've had faith in them since day one. I'm just rocking with them. You see in the MLB all the time, a team like them that has some magic, some hope, at least makes a run, some sort of run, whether it even just be one series win. So I think Mariners are that team this year. I think they're going to go beat the Blue Jays. I also don't have faith in Jose Barrios. I think with how shitty he's been this season, he is doomed in this postseason and will choke inevitably. But the real matchups here are the game 1 and game 2 pitching matchups, which we did see Castillo end up besting Manoah. But Castillo and Manoah, that was to watch here in game 1, and game 2 should be Gilbert and Gausman, right?
Yeah, or is it Ray and Gausman?
The rumors that I saw is that Gilbert's there too.
That's fair. Yeah,
and they want, from what I saw, they want a George Kirby, Robbie Ray piggyback in game 3.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
What they want.
Gausman's beating Gilbert for sure. But
then that's where that
in Kevin Gausman, and
that's where that game 3 comes with Barrios.
The game 3 winning starting pitcher will be former Twin Jose Barrios, 100%. Winning pitcher from game 3, Jose.
So you're rocking with the Blue Jays 2-1.
Blue Jays 2-1.
Interesting.
Vlad the Impaler will have a home run in game 3 and be the deciding factor.
Okay. You have more faith in Jose Barrios than a George Kirby, Robbie Ray combo.
Yep.
Really? I don't know how I feel about that.
Yep.
I don't know how I feel about that. That's a scary take. That's a scary take. But
no, I have more confidence in the bats in the Blue Jays lineup to take advantage of that. Springer, ton of experience. Bichette's had a great season, and then Vlad, obviously great on top of Chapman and Teoscar, who can always get hot at the right time. So,
and they added Whit Merrifield as well.
Yep,
another vet. So yeah, they do have a nice lineup. I just got to rock with the Mariners. Playoff baseball magic is a thing. So I think that's the team. Jumping to the NL now, wild card. This is what we were talking about. Y'all got to trust that we put these out, or we made our picks, I should say, before these games started, because I picked both 2-0 series here. I picked Cardinals 2-0 over the Phillies. I just thought more deeper lineup, more complete bullpen. And I don't know about the starting rotation. I think Phillies maybe have a better 1-2 in Wheeler. Well, actually, Nola's 1. Nola and Wheeler. But I think the rotation for the Cardinals is deeper. Their defense is amazing. They got Arenado and Goldie, 2 vets with tons of experience, absolutely killing it this year. So, yeah, that was my thoughts coming into the series. But as we saw today, they absolutely choked. 9th inning, gave up 6 runs, Spinny. They were up 3-0 and gave up 6 freaking runs in the 9th inning.
Who's starting game 3? Because Wainwright's starting 2, right? Obviously, you would think.
Wainwright? Who started today? I didn't even look, honestly.
I don't know how to say his name. I know.
Michaelis?
Michaelis, yeah. He had to be the starter, right?
No, it was Quintana.
No, Quintana started today.
Quintana versus Wheeler. So, yeah, it wasn't even Nola either. I'm assuming Nola's getting nod, especially tomorrow. now that they're up 2-0 or 1-0. I would be shocked if Nola's not pitching tomorrow.
So is it Michaelis or is it Wainwright or is it Montgomery?
It wouldn't shock. Honestly, it's not going to shock me either way they go. I could picture them picking any of those 3.
Yeah.
Me personally, I feel like you gotta rock with Wainwright, the guy with just no experience. This dude has got a zillion games pitched in the playoffs. He's won World Series. He knows that this is going to be his last season. Let him go out. Give him the benefit of the doubt. Other than that, I would say Montgomery.
Montgomery 1.08 whip, 1.08, 1.03 for Michaelis, 1.28 for Wainwright, 3.29 Michaelis, 3.11 Montgomery, 3.71 Wainwright. So
here's the thing: Michaelis has had a great season. I'm not going to deny that. But his career-wise, I don't know if he's even. This might be his career best year. Honestly, I would have to look.
He also gives up a lot of home runs. He gave 25 home runs this year compared to Wainwright's 16 and Montgomery's 6. So,
yeah, I was going to say Montgomery does not give up home runs at all.
No.
So I personally would like them to start Wainwright, given the experience, and I mean that's pretty much it. But if they don't go Wainwright, it's got to be Montgomery.
That's fair. I'm going Cards 2-1 as well.
Guards 2-1. Okay.
2-1. You went 2-0. I'm going 2-1.
I went 2-0. Yep. Jump into the Mets series. Mets versus Padres. This is another one I picked 2-0. I literally thought there was no chance they get through DeGrom and Scherzer in these first two games. I didn't know who was going to start one. We saw Scherzer start tonight as we were recording. Oh, the game actually just finished. The Padres just finished off the Mets 7-1. Yeah, Scherzer got rocked. He gave up 7 runs. Did not see this happening. Obviously, the Padres still got dudes. You know, they got Bell, they got Machado, they got Soto. They have players. They don't have Tatis, but they still have loaded lineup. I just didn't trust their lack of experience and how shitty they've been playing since the trade deadline. So I had to go DeGrom Scherzer.
This time I did completely agree with you. I went 2-0 Mets as well. I thought DeGrom Scherzer was getting that dub. Game 1, game 2.
So Padres, I know Darvish started tonight. Got to be Musgrove versus DeGrom then tomorrow.
Yeah, you'd think.
That's what it should be. So keep your eyes out for that. I don't know about y'all, Hardies and Hardos, but I love the MLB Playoffs. MLB Playoffs is electric. The fans are super into it. And crazy things always just seem to happen. Like I said, the magical teams, that's a thing. Like the Royals a couple of years ago, they went all the way to the World Series as a wild card team. Like they swept the number 1 Angels that year. Like there's always random things like that happening, or random players just decide to go off. Like the Rays last year.
Baby.
Yeah, Freeze all those years ago.
That's the number one thing I always think of.
Or even last year, was that even 2 years ago already? The Rays, when Randy Rosarena was called up like 30 games before postseason, and then all of a sudden in the postseason was the best player.
Dog. Yeah.
So that's why I love them MLB playoffs. It's so fun to watch.
All right, second round. We both
second round.
Yankees, Cleveland.
Correct. I'm going Yankees 3-1 over the Guardians. I just think the Yankees home field there. They'll play 3 of the 5 games in New York. I think that's just going to be too much for the Guardians to overcome. The batting is ridiculous in New York, and I think they'll be able to finish off the Guardians.
Yankees are winning, and if it comes down to a game 5, you're getting Cole game 1 and game 5. They'll probably go like a relief start in game 4 if they have to. If it's not a 3-0, they'll probably go relief start game 4, take their chances, line up on lineup, and then game 5 they'll throw Cole back out there if they have to. So I think either way the Yankees are winning, but I went 3-1 Yanks as well.
The other series I have Astros versus the Mariners. I'm picking them division matchup here, actually. Picking them 3-1 over the Mariners. This is just an obvious answer. The Astros have more talent at every position. They have a better closer. They have a better ace. They have better elite batters. They're just better all around. I do not anticipate the Mariners, even though it is a division rival, division matchup. So there could be an upset here. I don't anticipate the Mariners being able to beat the Astros.
Yeah, I went Astros 3-0 over the Blue Jays. I mean, the Astros lineup is obviously great, and you've got Valdez, Framer, and Verlander as an absolute dog 1-2, and then your Urquidy's your 3, who has had a very good season, or Garcia, however you want to.
Or see, that's together. The thing. That's the thing. They have Urquidy, they have Garcia, And they have McCullers. And McCullers.
Yeah.
He pitched like almost 10 starts before the playoffs. He was back late August. So
ERA of he had 8 starts. In those 8 starts, 2.27 ERA.
Exactly. So they're stacked everywhere.
They can do 2 of those guys back to back. They can. I mean, they have 6 guys that are legitimate, at least SP3s on most teams.
Exactly.
So
it's crazy to think about.
Yep.
I do think though Urquidy is bullpen guy for the playoffs. I do believe I saw that because late in the season, this last week of the season, they did move him to the bullpen. So I just assumed that was the plan going into the playoffs as well.
That would make sense with Garcia, Javier, McCullers as your other 5. So that makes sense.
That is just a crazy amount of pitchers to have.
I know, dude.
And here we are with the Twins, just can't even get one freaking pitcher, and these guys have 6.
All those guys are SP1 on our team.
Yeah,
pretty much all those guys.
Pretty much, Urquidy would be the only one that's like an argument. Otherwise, like McCullers is better than Sonny. Like,
or is it Joe Ryan? Is Joe Ryan better?
Oh yeah, Joe Ryan's probably. I would. Yeah, Sonny missed too much of the season, I guess, for me to call him the one. Yeah, Joe Ryan makes it a little closer, I guess, but
still.
But the point still stands.
All right, on to the NL.
Jumping to the NL, I have Braves versus the Cards. I'm taking Braves 3-2 over Cards. I think this will go to the distance. This series will come down to the health of Spencer Strider. Right now, he is questionable for his return from injury for this series, but should play. Is likely to be back in time for that. If Strider pitches, I think that's the what am I trying to say here?
That's the deciding factor?
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't the exact verbatim that I was trying to use, but that's essentially what I was trying to say is the deciding factor. He's the best pitcher on their staff, and even though he's a rookie, and he's ridiculously good.
That's a bold take, sir.
They have guys everywhere, dude. They have Strider.
Best pitcher?
Best pitcher. I don't care.
Max Fried doesn't have anything to say about that?
He might, but from what I've seen in 1 year from Spencer Strider, I have never seen a season that good for Max Fried. I'm ready to all in on Spencer Strider. To have Max Fried, Spencer Strider, and Kyle Wright on your team.
How about 21? Oh, sorry. 21-5, Kyle Wright. What about that guy? How does Kyle Wright have 7 more wins than Max Fried? With the
led the MLB in wins. Kyle Wright led the MLB in wins.
Crazy. I will say Spencer Strider 13.8K per 9, which is an absolute insane amount.
Ridiculous stat.
And I think it'll be a close series as well, but the Cards are pulling it out. 3-2 Cards. I kept the Cards out of the playoffs. I've heard all about it from my Cardinals fan in my life. And, it's tough. I got to go with them this time. So we're picking the Cards.
That's fair. The other series, I have Dodgers-Mets. I'm picking Dodgers 3-1 over the Mets. Similar reason for the Astros here. I think just the Dodgers are too deep and talented everywhere. Obviously, the Mets they got some guys as well, but I just don't think they can match up top to bottom with the Dodgers. I mean, the Dodgers can literally throw out like their 8th hitter being Cody Bellinger. Like, I mean, come on. Like it's going to take a serious choke job for the Dodgers not to make the World Series, in my opinion.
Agreed. I went 3-1 Dodgers as well. It's just too much talent.
Championship Series, AL. Do I follow this right? We both have Astros Yanks, right?
We do.
I'm taking who you got? I'm taking Astros 4-2 over the Yanks.
Yeah, we both hate the Yanks too much to pick them. I got Stros 4-3. Stros in 7.
Yeah, honestly, yes, I hate the Yankees, but I don't trust them to get the job done. I don't trust them to finish. We've seen how many times in recent years that they choke in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I trust the Stros pitching staff way more, as we already talked about.
They have a guy named Justin frickin' Verlander on their team who's going to win Cy Young this year.
Yep.
He's going to be better. he will be better in the playoffs than any
He
Garrett
always
Cole.
is. He always is.
He'll outpitch. Yeah, he's gonna outduel Garrett Cole. Anybody he lines up against, it doesn't matter.
And then you got freaking Valdez against your two.
Again,
the Yankees two. That's domination.
Framber, who just set the MLB record for quality starts in a season.
Yeah,
literally did.
That's a nice fantasy team, man. I wonder who has him in our league. I can't quite remember for sure.
A guy who didn't make playoffs.
Check it. Yeah, a guy who's gonna be a dog next year with all his picks.
Dog next year.
Dogging it out. I'm gonna win that beep next year. I'm gonna win that beep next year.
I can't believe I got second. I'm so upset.
Yeah, you suck. It makes sense though. You're never gonna win, Bus. It's cursed. You're cursed in your league. You realize that, right?
Listen to this dumb shit here about this fantasy baseball league. Literally dumb shit. I don't have any other way to put it.
So butthurt. Oh my gosh.
I am butthurt.
Insanely, incredibly butthurt. It's crazy.
This was the 4th season we had in this league.
Oh my god.
Shut up.
I can't believe it.
Shut up, kid.
Nuts.
4 seasons in this league.
Such a sore loser, really.
Are you done? First 3 years, I got 3rd place all 3 years, and this year I got 2nd. You just can't make this shit up, dude. I'm so depressed. The amount of times that I just am the best team in regular season and choke.
Dude, it's awful.
What? You want to speak up when you say that?
You think you're so good. You talk crap all the time about my team's so good. I'm going to win this crap every year. Blah, 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 blah. 4 years of L's for you. So get over it.
Listen to this, because ESPN, shout out ESPN, maybe the only good thing you've done with your fantasy app here is give us league history, which is pretty neat to look at. 54-16 is my record in these 4 years without a freaking championship to speak for it.
What's my record?
Can't make that.
Look up my record.
I can do that. Your record is 20. Your ass. Your record's 28-42.
Really? Where do you find this?
League history. It's a tab. Just click league and you'll see it under league history. And then you can click any team and look at the league history.
Hey, but my average finishing position is 6th. So I've made the playoffs out of 10. Pretty much every year.
6 out of 10.
I've made the playoffs every year except 1. Get out of here.
It says 2. 2 playoff appearances in 4 years, it says.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. You got me. Yeah, so we're in playoffs every other year, and next year we're going to go off.
54-16 with 0 championships. Look at that.
Yeah,
third,
you wish you had a championship, huh?
And look at my team name.
I've made just as many championship games as you. That's the best part. Just as many. The same amount of championship games as you.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong, folks. It's honestly gotten to the point where I don't think I'm keeping Juan Soto anymore because I'm so upset that my name is freaking Chosen Juan and I still can't win.
Hells. All right, sorry, Hardies and Ardos. We had to give you a little pause before we go to the NLCS to rant about our stuff, but it is pretty hilarious talking about Bus losing, so I'm always game for it.
NLCS. Right. Dodgers, Braves, we both. No, you have the Cards because you're an idiot. That's right. Forgot. No, I'm just kidding. I can see the Cards winning that series. But I got Dodgers, Braves. I'm going Dodgers 4-2 over the Braves. I trust the Dodgers rotation here a little more. It's so close, but a little more than Braves. And then obviously I trust the lineup more than the Braves as well, which is why I got to go Dodgers. But I do think the Braves are good enough to win at least two games against the Dodgers.
Yeah, I got Dodgers over Cards 4-3. I think the Cards are scrappy.
Really?
I think it's classic Cardinals. The Cardinals are better in the playoffs. They are. You have to admit it.
They are.
Over the history of baseball, especially when we've been alive, they've always been better in the playoffs. It's weird. I don't know how to explain it, but it is what it is. And so I think they're going to take the Dodgers to the brink, but the Dodgers' talent level is just too good.
I honestly, when I was thinking about the magical teams in this playoffs and who's going to make a run, the Mariners came instantly to mind for the AL, and my NL team that came to mind was the Cardinals. They have so many storylines going for them. The Albert Pujols, Wainwright, and Yachty, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So
plus Goldie and Arenado, defensive gods.
So I may have not chosen the Cardinals to go that far, but I will be cheering for them in the playoffs. I like that team. They're fun to watch. I guess we're on the World Series now, huh?
Yes, sirs. World Series, like I'm freaking British.
This is nuts for me to even think about because I did not anticipate me choosing against the Dodgers.
I can't believe you did this. It's so stupid. It's such a stupid
I am choosing against the Dodgers. I'm rocking with the Astros. In 7 games, 4-3, they will beat the Dodgers. Dodgers think they're going to get their revenge series here from the cheating World Series, and they're not. They're really not going to. I don't trust Clayton Kershaw in the playoffs. If that is the alleged / supposed Game 7 starter, as I anticipated going to Game 7, I don't think he can beat Verlander. We got Verlander lining up in Game 7. No shot any of the Dodgers can beat that man head-to-head. I think the Astros are going to pull it out. Both teams are extremely talented. Top 2 teams record-wise in MLB. So this could go either way. I don't think it's that far-fetched to think the Astros can beat the Dodgers.
NL World Series, Game 7, Kershaw's revenge. Dodgers over Astros in Game 7. World Series MVP goes to Cody Bellinger. World Series MVP.
You couldn't have just made a more terrible take.
This man's hitting 4 home runs in the 7 games of the World Series.
4?
4.
Oh my gosh, please, if any of you Hardies and Hardos out there are diehard MLB fans, I need you commenting on this video and roasting this man. I can respect the Dodgers championship prediction, but I cannot respect a Cody Bellinger finals MVP after what World Series MVP, I should say, not finals, for what we have freaking seen from him this season. 4 home runs he anticipated. Are you confident enough to put money on that? Are we making a bet?
No, I'm not confident enough to put money on it. Yeah. Bold takes don't always require money, Bus. Come on.
Okay, you're not wrong there, but you seriously think Kershaw will beat Verlander in Game 7?
Yeah,
because if it's not
Kershaw's revenge, or Ryu's revenge, or somebody's revenge.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's like I think I trust Ryu a little more than Kershaw, but go ahead. Sorry for dropping the F-bomb, but go ahead and start what's his face, Gonsolin, or the other bomb who I know is not going to be starting, Tyler Anderson. He will not start Game 7, but go ahead, start one of those 2 against Verlander. I dare you, Dodgers. I dare you.
They'd probably still win.
What if they're trailing? Because if they're down 3-2, they're going to have to pitch Kershaw in Game 6 because they need to win.
Fine.
Or they'll have to pitch Urias,
Then you pitch Urias or Gonsolin in Game 7.
Good.
That's fine.
Good. I want them to pitch Urias in Game 6, and then I get the Kershaw-Verlander matchup, which I know Verlander is winning.
Or you pitch Kershaw 6 and save Urias for 7, and then do like a Urias-Gonsolin combo for Game 7.
It won't matter. Won't matter. Only pitcher in the MLB this season with a sub-2 ERA. Justin Verlander will get the job done and will likely also win finals.
Not against the Dodgers.
Why do I keep saying finals?
Dodgers lineup better than Astros. Yeah, you got NBA on the brain.
I was going to say, I got NBA on the brain with it coming up in 2 weeks. Speaking of that, Hardies and Hardos, as we wrap up this special for y'all, we will be dropping some special content next week. Honestly, we are going to go. Should we tell them? I think we should.
All right, we can.
We're going to, at some point next week, I will not solidify a date here for y'all because we're still in the works on that. We will at some point do a fantasy basketball mock draft. Same as our football. We're going to get this thing loaded up with 10 guys in here. We're going to have a good time and draft probably the first 8 rounds, I would imagine. So it'll be the same thing as our fantasy football mock draft. If you haven't checked that out, go ahead, check that out. A lot of people have watched that and supported us in that video. That was our most viewed video by far. So we love that. It was a lot of fun. Looking forward to doing it again for basketball.
Agreed. All right, should we let him out of here? Man, this is the third video of the week, huh?
Really is, huh?
Yeah.
There's probably going to be 3 videos for y'all next week, too. We will continue the fantasy. We love fantasy. We're going to drop that every week, no matter what.
Yeah.
And
you guys have shown us that that's the most viewed stuff. So we're definitely going to make sure we're listening to your views and putting it out.
And again, keep dropping comments about suggestions. It doesn't even need to be fantasy related, even our regular episodes here. Topics and segments you guys want to hear. Drop comments. We want to talk about things you guys want to listen to.
And guests you want to have or guests you want to be, reach out to us. Let us know. Or if you have something good to talk about, we're always ready for that as well. And please like, comment, and subscribe. Again, helps us out and really makes it worth it for us. So thank you.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see y'all next week with likely our mock draft or our fantasy episode.
Yep, and we'll end as we began.
I'm sorry, Hardies and Hardos. See y'all next week.